Үлкен істер әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолды сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры.
Центр кредит банкімен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCCKZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ilyas Tolkenov, aka Still Borko, and I'm joined here with Heidi, and we're about to start our day number 2 of Mobile Legends here in beautiful country of Kazakhstan, Astana, at the Game of the Future 2026. I welcome you here, and I welcome Heidi. How are you, Heidi?
I'm doing great. I'm so ready for the second day after yesterday's fights. I mean, that was incredible what we had yesterday. So I'm really looking forward what brings to the table today for this day 2, because we only got 3 more days left. So it's going to be really interesting to see where the whole matches and the tournament goes, right?
Definitely, yes. We are expecting having 4 games today, just like the day number 1 of the playoffs. It's going to be very interesting because the teams are, 4 of the teams were waiting their opponents, and it would be exciting match to see. I mean, yesterday was an upset for some of the teams because we have seen 4 teams have been eliminated from the tournament, and one of them were the recent champion of Team Spirit that they lost to Food Eaters, and the Food Eaters are the starter of the match of today. What are you thinking about yesterday matches, and what are you expecting of Food Esports of playing it today?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out, because yesterday the first match, Food actually took the first match, but they lost in the second round, but they took it back in the third round again. So yeah, yet to see if there's going to be a third round, because yesterday, as we noticed, I mean, the last 2 games only had 2 rounds each. So it went really pretty quick, but then we saw a lot of turnarounds. Right? The first game and the second game was entirely different from each team's playing, how they performed in the first part of their round. So I'm really excited to see what teams has to bring to the table today. And
yeah, definitely. And we are back here at the beautiful studio here. Once again, my name is Still Borko, and joined by with Heidi here. Yes, we are excited to take a look at beautiful games today. As you were mentioning, 2-1 and 2-2-0s, but the last 2-0 of the game was the Rune Eaters versus Pro Esports. I mean, the last game wasn't that easy for the Pro Esports. I mean, they gave a good fight.
Yeah.
They came back through with the lower HP of their base, and I mean, they pulled through the victory and making it 2-0. And Rune Eaters were eliminated from this home crowd tournament. But nonetheless, let's stop talking about the day number 1. We're excited to welcome you here at day number 2. I mean, Food Esports, right?
Yeah.
The team with the newer players. I checked them, like I've checked their international experience and overall. I mean, they played phenomenal on the the match of the day, and they did phenomenal against the champions.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to go actually far if they are managed to win the champions. I'm thinking they can do very well against Selangor Red Giants.
Yes, for sure. I mean, we are talking about two different play styles of teams, right? I mean, we got the Foot Esports who are really hyper-aggressive, I would say. They're really, really aggressive, fast-paced gaming, as we can see. And we actually saw that yesterday, how they actually played out. Where we are talking about SRG, the Selangor Red Giants, who are very well disciplined and slow-paced gaming. They tend to move the game towards the late stages of the game after, let's say, 10 or 12 minutes. But these are like clashes of two entirely different kinds of play styles.
100%. There are two different regions are going to face to face and toe to toe between Europe and Asia, Southeastern Asia. I mean, there are 3 players are actually from Malaysia and 2 teams from the Philippines.
Yeah.
It would be interesting combination if the communication will be there and if they could pull it through. I mean, Food Esports, they're hungry, man.
Yes.
They just won a champion team and all eyes on them.
Yep, of course. I mean, we actually had Saiki from the Foot Esports yesterday on the desk, sharing his thoughts on how he gonna. I mean, he's the mid laner, so he's one of the top players in the whole team. So we are yet to see how they perform today. But let's not forget, give a big shout out to Freedom for sponsoring this MLBB. I mean, for bringing this whole tournament for Games of the Future here in Astana 2026. So big shout out to them. It wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. That's all, don't you think?
Of course, yeah, big shout out to them. We appreciate them for making this tournament happening in beautiful country of Kazakhstan and beautiful city of Astana. It's just amazing to be here, and we're thanking all the sponsors that there is for making Games of the Future, and making this esports combination with the traditional sports. That's why we call it phygital games, and that's how you guys know it. We have 8 different disciplines all around the Games of the Future, and you guys can choose whichever you'd like to take a look at. And
that's true. That's true. I mean, we are looking at, we're going to be heading to draft phase soon. I mean, that's going to be very critical on how each team going to be choosing their players. I mean, when it comes to, let's say, Foot Esports, I mean, they're looking at SRG, who is tend to push the game towards the late stage, and especially the Sekis from SRG. I mean, he's so incredible with his playstyle, especially the jungler, being the jungler. I mean, we are looking at Fanny, Ling, or even Hayabusa. I mean, great heroes that he's very comfortable in. So I believe Foot is going to have to at least take a move on banning any of these and making sure they don't get it. So, I mean, what do you think?
I definitely think it's going to be quite interesting, and we're here at MOBA Mobile, right? So, and we would like to actually give you a little bit knowledge of the game, and would like to give you a video about it, and stay tuned.
MOBA Mobile is an esports discipline based on Mobile Legends Bang Bang and consists of a digital stage only. 16 teams compete in 5v5 matches played in a best-of-3 format. Throughout the tournament, all matches are played as best-of-3 series, with the first team to win 2 games claiming the series. The first game begins with a physical coin toss. The winning team chooses either its side of the map or first pick in the hero draft. In the second game, the choice automatically passes to the opposing team. If a third and deciding game is required, the right to choose is once again determined by a physical coin toss. Teams earn tournament points for each series victory in accordance with the tournament bracket.
We're back here once again. Yes, a great video of explanation what is expected to be in this beautiful MOBA Mobile, aka Mobile Legends, and MLBB, shortly called. Yeah, and you were saying about the heroes. Now I'm thrilled to ask you. Have you seen the current meta of this tournament?
Oh no, I mean the thing is, it's always. I mean, I've always believed like there could be those pocket picks which comes when it comes to drafting, because we never know. I mean, what they're gonna come up with. Maybe the off-meta heroes. They're gonna come with the off-meta heroes. I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on who plays what hero and then what they do with the hero as well, right?
Yeah, let's take a look at the draft right now, and about the heroes we'll talk a little bit later, and about the draft, about the group stages, we can take a look at the group stage here on the top left corner that you guys can see in the right corner. What was very fascinating, what I noticed, the team Selangor Red Giants actually, to qualify to the main slot, they actually beat the Rune Eaters, who have have been eliminated, and Rune Eaters actually won one game out of them. So it wasn't quite easy, but they actually beat on their round number 1 of Aurora Gaming 2-0, which was, for me, it was really surprising. And also I'd like to mention about the team of, so let me put the team Food Esports, right? The Food Esports, they actually from the group C, for the group B, and they actually beat the Bushido Wildcats 2-0, and they lost to Vitality by Bigitron. So it's actually quite interesting because they lost to Vitality by Bigitron, right? And they because of that they have then moved forward and actually beat the Team Spirit. I mean, let's take a look at the Phygital games. Like to also mention to you guys can watch all of our games here at the phygital-plus.com. You can watch all disciplines, all the 8 disciplines. It could be as well as sports. It could be esports. It could be physical shooter. It could be basketball, physical football. There is tons different of disciplines that we have, and yeah, definitely get a subscription and enjoy. I mean, moving forward, right? So that team, the Food Esports, they lost to that Vitality, and they pulled the victory off of the Team Spirit. Now they're gonna face off Selangor Red Giants, and I actually believe, honestly, that they actually can go through with their whole newer experience, but they're hyped up because they know that they are capable of winning those big names. What do you think?
I mean, I think considering its play style, I think if SRG manages to get past, let's say, 10-minute mark, I think we have more advantage for SRG. But before we jump into the Foot Esports, I mean, make sure we have a QR code up on the screen. Make sure you scan that, and of course get the tickets from ticketon.com, because you don't want to miss any of these games. We only have literally 3 days left for Digital Games of the Future and also MLBB as well. So make sure you get the tickets. And yeah, talking about here we have the team right in front of us, Selangor Red Giants, and we got Innocent, Yum, Stormy, Uni, and Cram right there with the SRG at the moment. And we got FUT as well. I mean, I really believe if FUT somehow managed to get maybe like 4 kills in the first 5 minutes, go chaotic in the early stage, I think they have a really good advantage.
Definitely, yes. Now we see on the screen the Food Esports, not the Eaters, excuse me. So Food Esports are actually very hyped up after their wins, and we'll definitely take a look how they're doing. And also would like to appreciate our sponsor here, Center Credit Bank. Download the app, online banking that will be shown right now. Yep, download the bcc.kz, or make online app and manage your finances well. And yeah, thank you very much, Center Credit, for making PC MOBA that we have casted personally, and it was purely amazing. We enjoyed the Dota 2, but we move forward with the Mobile Legends, and we're hearing the teams are getting ready, the players are getting ready, the casters are getting ready, guys. And please, Naiso and Wolf, please take it away. Let's hype up here at Jack Project Arena and enjoy our show, guys. Thank you.
Harmony between worlds rests on a fragile balance. Legends of the Great Step tell of the sun-headed man who helped maintaining the connection between the worlds for centuries. But sometimes, the very nature of existence disrupts the natural order of things. When the ancient power left the sun-headed man, the balance shifted.
Attention. Massive energy surge detected.
The energy within the sun-headed man's artifact has awakened.
So, the Chosen Ones are already there?
Newbies without a guide. Then it's time to meet them. Someone's got to get them up to speed.
Look what my robot can do.
Not now. I'm playing.
In search of those destined to restore the lost harmony, the energy split into 3 parts.
I'm one of the guardians of balance between the worlds. When the ancient power awakened in Kazakhstan, it chose you. You're the ones who can restore the sun-headed man's power and bring the worlds back into harmony. Guess even ancient powers can surprise you. Looks like the squad's finally complete. But until the sun-headed man is fully charged, the two worlds will keep drifting apart. So no pressure, but we're counting on you.
And so began the story of the new heroes. Ahead of them lay the greatest challenge of all, the games of the future in Astana.
Here we are, day number 2, the second round of the playoffs. Back with just the 8 teams. Here are the games of the future MLBB. Your casters, Wolf and Naisu. We saw a lot of good matches yesterday, and we actually started with a banger yesterday, Naisu. It was Foot Esports who have taken out the recent MSC champions. Now they're going to be facing against the first MSC EWC champions back in 2024. Do you think that Foot Esports can pull off another upset in games of the future?
Hey, you know, they took down one MSC champion. Maybe they can do another that's been through it. SRG has been in a really, I feel like, interesting form lately. You know, it's just, I think even with the introduction of what we saw where Uni stepped in instead of, you know, the typical Sakais that we see in the jungle, I think a lot of people were surprised by that kind of switch up. And obviously, you know, it brings this new dynamic as he's going to be playing in here. This is more or less the same or SRG, though. I think this is what teams have to do, though. This is what a lot of people were wondering when we saw various teams kind of make some quick changes. Even if it wasn't a player, it was the way they approached the game, right? Obviously in the draft, we've talked so much about that so far with current meta, how important that is. And I think if you're SRG right now, even with all your experience, all your accolades behind you, I mean, even with Coach Arcadia there, you really have to respect what Foot Esports was able to do yesterday. That the fact that Foot Esports was able to go ahead and send home Team Spirit, I think is something to be said. Again, a team that, people wish they had seen more of back from the wildcard stages of MSC, but now you get to see more of them here in the Games of the Future, which has been great. And I think even when we had the interview yesterday, I think it was with Psyche there, on the desk with our boys Heidi and Ilias, it was great to hear some insights. I like that we actually have some of those winning interviews, over on the desk there to go ahead and hear some insights from the players, of course, that have won. But yeah, Wolf, I think this is going to be a difficult game to call, just because, again, with what Foot Esports kind of did and surprised us all yesterday with.
Yeah. And again, definitely not expect anything right now. Just expect good stuff. Just expect good drafting from teams that they will try to outwit each other, because I think that was the trend for Foot Esports yesterday against Team Spirit. It was their drafting that they improved on. And that's also true for SRG Esports. They also have been winning most of their matches when they are drafting properly. So you can expect that. And one thing that I also would love to see, and I think that we will see today, is very hectic team fights. It's like you're going to see very close team fights in a way that one team can easily win against each other. Even when there's like a 3v4 scenario, there could be a lot of outplays that comes with it. And I'm saying that because that's a nature of how SRG operates, and that's what we saw from Foot Esports yesterday.
Yeah, I think hectic is the way to kind of explain things right now, with the way things are, just because if you think about it, yesterday alone, we had rather quick games. I think maybe the quickest was around the 11-ish minutes mark. I know we've had or seen quicker, even just around the 9-minute mark. Obviously, some games can still go the distance. We did see maybe one or two past the 20-minute mark just yesterday. And in some cases, it just highly depends on what's put in the jungle. I think that's one of the biggest factors because, again, with Foot Esports' win on game 3, you remember Team Spirit put Zarius on the fanny, in game 1 and game 3, and Foot Esports really had a good answer to that. So they were able to go ahead and slow down the jungle momentum, that kind of snowball potential that you typically see built up. But that's why I'm saying Uni, being a part of this lineup for SRG, seems to have a better handle on that game plan, if that's what they go with. So, I still expect a rather quick game for this, maybe 15 or sub 15, just by the way these two teams kind of play naturally. But I think that's one thing that we really have to look at when we're just about to jump into this draft, where it's like, where are they going? Are we still going to see that high priority? Barrett's probably isn't going to change, even if it's left open.
Yeah, I think the Barretts is going to be the stable pick of Games of the Future, particularly, and of course the Melissa. And I think it has shaped in a way where the Melissa is the priority. So you now ban it, and if you give it away, you have to have good reasons to pick it up. Maybe you can pick up the Clint or the Brody eventually, or you have a lineup around the Claude, which we saw some teams actually prioritize over the Melissa because of the overall utility that you get out of the Claude. But generally speaking, from the gold laner standpoint, Melissa is the hero of the meta. We just have to pair it with two tanky heroes, and you're gonna be fine. As we head into draft, it's going to be the Barretts as well as the Belleric for Foot Esports that they ban out, and the Freya, pretty standard for the red side team, and of course the Marcel.
All right, this is looking like first pick Herrera. Like if this is going to be one of the things here that it's not banned out here on red 3. I'm not sure if there's something else that they have to cover for SRG. Are they going to cover anything else? Even if it is the Herrera ban, you still have some pretty good options. Since the Marcel's not there, the Barretts, that's usually what we see on the trade. Maybe they go with a Eudora? I don't know if they want to pick up a Eudora first pick, though.
Yeah. Maybe a Eudora, actually. Or a Valentina. Some teams like it, but Stormy just plays the Eudora so well. It might be even just worth it to just
Oh,
really
there's
just
the
focus
Hirara.
on that hero just to pick up there's the Hirara. So it's a Eudora or the Valentina is we can expect here for Foot Esports. And
wow,
Selena, of course, one of the most volatile heroes out there, mainly because of how much he can do in team fights. But a random arrow can just turn the tides of the game when targeted on the right hero. So I don't understand why they go for it.
Yeah, Selena's just in a weird place. Not the answer here for SRG. There's so many of these, so many of the heroes that we usually see prioritized, or at least on the red side, being banned out really quickly here. So this might lead to a different draft than what we can expect anyway. Once we get back to it, we'll see exactly what they ended up picking. But knowing that there's a blue side Selena first pick, it's kind of like, I don't know. They have so many options they can go with. You know, Selena, we saw it popped up maybe twice yesterday, I think, 2 or 3 times. And like you said, sometimes it's just one of those arrows. And even if it's not the arrows, it's still enough to kind of zone out these initiations from the opposing team. Or obviously you can use the traps, get some extra vision to work with. So I'm really wondering what they want to go ahead and complement the Selena with.
We saw yesterday that was paired up with the Marcel, but obviously the Marcel is Harley and Melissa for the Selang or the Giants. Understandable. I generally don't like playing the Selena against the Melissa because it's really difficult to find an opening to do damage. And typically when you are the mid laner, you are almost always the designated killer of the marksman, of opposing marksman. And I guess in this scenario, it's not gonna be easy. Nolan and then the Kufra, immediate Kufra coming up from Foot Esports. This is a massive surprise. But now Selang Red Giants do have access to Uranus or the Esmeralda. I feel like they have to take one or the other this time in this specific part of the draft because it will be banned out afterwards.
Well, I mean, Blotsvet played the Kufra yesterday in game 1, but that was basically because we saw the Fanny pop up, you know? So I was like, all right, this kind of makes sense. But he was pretty good on it, and that's one of the things you want to watch out for just because, you know, now for SRG, it's like you got to worry about... I feel like there's a good synergy between having these arrows and traps and then having Kufra. Like, there's so much information that they can work off of each other, but also give that to, you know, the Nolan if they want to, depending on how they approach that, or whatever ends up going in the hands of the XP laner, XC here, because we saw him yesterday. He was very aggressive on, you know, the Yuzhong. Even though they lost that game with the Yuzhong, it was very aggressive on it. I know he's played the Uranus, like you mentioned, though, too. That being open. The glue is that last pick over on the first phase for SRG. So I expect some of these to be towards maybe the XP lane for bans, at least coming out from SRG.
Yeah. And that's also true for Foot Esports. When I take away the tanky dudes that we're talking about, the Uranus is going to be a consideration. There's the Moskov, probably a Clint ban eventually here for Selang Red Giants. We'll see. Rafaela instead of the typical tanky hero bans. It kind of reminds me actually, nice dude. There was a time when they went up against Aurora. It was game number 2 of that series where SRG eventually won against Aurora. It was actually the Rafaela that savaged the fight for them. It was close, yeah. It was the reason why they came back to the game. It's because the Rafaela was able to revive a hero that will eventually win the team fights in the late game and combo it up with the Flying Clouds, and then it's fine. So Foot Esports are respecting the potential of the Rafaela for Selang Red Giants.
All right, last ban here. Yums, hopefully he's feeling warmed up and ready for this one. Arlot is going to be the last ban, though, by Foot Esports. So now that we're done with the bans here, we'll see what's going to go in red for SRG. They still need potentially a mid laner right now, or they just go with they're going to pick up their XP? Is there a world where this glue is somehow flexed at all? Or are we just expecting it to just go to Yums?
this is flexed. So you can actually go for your Stormy here, not your SRG, because Eudora is still open.
Yeah.
You find that Valentina might be another option because the Tyrant's Rage is also a good ultimate to copy in case. There's a world where they do pick up the Farsa because they're going to be looking for burst damage to follow up. But they instead went for the Zushin, which generally does not like playing against the Nolan as well as the Selena. So I wonder what SRG are cooking with this Zushin.
Guess they just want this. They just want the crowd control, man. You know, I was always surprised because Jushin definitely kind of fell off after her bit of a nerf that she had. But she's still very valuable, like we saw even in MSC. They can still make it work. The last couple picks here, Claude and Uranus being locked in by Foot Esports. So these are good pickups. I think all around, if you look at Foot Esports' lineup, it's very balanced. You know, you've got, I would say they could use a little bit more maybe magic damage, but again, they have the Selena there. There's a good amount of burst damage though, just having a Nolan, and then if they catch anyone, I think that's one of the big things. Obviously the Claude was one of the main picks that we saw yesterday as well, still very meta. And so the last answer from SRG will be the Fovea. So that tells us, yep, Glue's gonna go over to that roam for Yumes. Krem will go ahead and get the Foveus. How we feeling about this one, Wolf? Where are we leaning towards here?
I generally like Foot Esports' composition now, actually. If they nail the Selena plus the Kufra, this will be deadly. Phobius has fallen out of favor when it comes to the metagame because of how strong the other XP laners are. You need a little bit more tank ability. Of course, the Phobius is a tanky hero, but if you're looking at the heroes, the other side of Foot Esports, they do have a lot of ways to handle the Phobius. Even the Selena. Technically speaking, the Selena does not really thrive in a game where there's a Phobius on the opposite end, but there is a way for them to do it because of the stuns, right? Now, the only trump card that I was okay, that was weird. The trump card that we I didn't know that robots have kiss cut. You know,
they got emojis, man.
They got their own emojis. But yeah, what I wanted to say is that the trump card for SRG is this Melissa. With all due fairness, I think they built a lineup where the Melissa can thrive. And I believe that this will be what they are going to be looking for.
Okay, well said, Wolf. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is day 2 of the playoffs here at Games of the Future 2026. Once again, we've got 8 teams left. We sent 4 home yesterday, and now today we're going to be sending 4 again. Psyche getting some arrows off on Stormy, but you know, this is going to be a little more difficult to get off, I feel like, just because, again, it's a Jushin, right? So you also got to pop these Purifies, as we like to call it, if they hope to go ahead and take down Innocent or Stormy there that they can work through. So one of the main things, again, that Foot Esports needs to do is start building for Kazuya to go ahead and get this momentum on the Nolan, because they know they need time, right, for RX. That's always what we talk about with the Claude. They need plenty of time to build up there. Oh, Blocksfed. Okay.
Blocksfed. I believe that the aggression is needed here for Foot Esports because eventually the Nolan can just take over, and they want to make sure that there is some gap between their jungler and the opposite jungle. Hardy's difficult to deal with, but now they're going in for the flicker plays. They nailed it. Oh, that's beautiful, Bloodsfed.
Hey, you said given the aggression, they are not letting up. We saw this Foot Esports yesterday, and now Innocent, he has nowhere to go, and he's got no ultimate for this. Bouncing ball going to be used, and there's Muddles, but it's just not enough. Collapse down under the turret. 2-0 right now for Foot Esports.
And how about that turret juggle coming out from Foot Esports? The moment they went in for the kill, they just relied on their in-game knowledge and that flicker coming out from the Kufra, and then eventually the take onto that gold laner. They want to go for the turtle now, though.
Okay, good trade. I would say out of anything, you know, at least SRG is able to go ahead and recoup. They get themselves a turtle. They dealt with so much pressure already. Look at this again. Blocksfed jumping in, arrow to follow, but this one, not a fight they want to take, I think. It looks like he's going to be in trouble. Kay's able to actually survive. Exy still alive, and now it's Blocksfed to go down. You know, SRG knew what Foot Esports has been doing. Well, look at the adjustment they just made.
Oh. And now Innocent taking some damage on the other turret and shields, and Yums will be there to aid him. So now Red Giants answer the aggression coming out from Foot Esports by some sort of aggression on their own. Felt like despite not having the buffs on Uni, they still went in for that turtle take, and they eventually won the fight afterwards. And the crucial part there was that Cram was outputting so much damage, being pesky Phobius, going into the backlines, zoning out SRG, allows for SRG to actually equalize this game.
Okay, so if SRG wants to equalize the game, you know, they've already gotten to that point where pretty much that 1K lead that was built up by Foot Esports has been handled. They just got to make sure they allow themselves to not fall behind here. Because of the setup potential that's so strong for Foot Esports, but obviously as the game goes on, you get a little more, you know, defense items built up for SRG's front line, you'll be in a better position. You're really susceptible to those kind of ganks, you know, in your lane, especially early on. Looks like Humes is going to deal with some damage. Oh, it's not the pushback they were looking for, so now he's going to get the mounted. I'm not sure if they're still going to follow through with this. An arrow's going to be thrown out, and now trying to get away. Blotzfett just whittled down slowly here. Blotzfett going down. That's just so hard to escape a glue once he's attached. Turtle's going to spawn now, second one of the game, and right now SRG off that kill should have an advantage. Exy taking some damage himself. He should be able to heal back up off of this, but there's a dark wave. They're going to bring him back to his death as Exy falls. SRG really showing the smart fighting here.
Smart in a way that they're taking advantage of their numbers advantage. What they're doing is going in for pickoffs where they can isolate a specific hero, like the Kufra, for example, then eventually the Uranus, wherein there will be no response coming out from Foot Esports, and if they did, they will get taken out. It's a 4 versus 1 when they went in for the Kufra, another 4v1 when they went up against the Uranus. And SRG are just managing their numbers way better than Foot Esports did. And that's interesting because it's difficult now to regain your aggression as Foot Esports, because if you're the Kufra, you always want to kind of hide on the bush, inside the bushes, which generally means that you have to find someone else to scout out the area for you. So SRG, if they remain aggressive around the river, they can actually take this game.
Yeah, they can. Already putting pressure in the jungle. They're going to go ahead and do some work there. SRG now were the ones with the lead, almost 2,000 up to this point. Some attention once again on Innocent, but now that Innocent has his ultimate, he's a lot more safer than when he was pre-level 4. It'll help him enough to go ahead and deal with, you know, Kufa trying to jump towards him, or even RX trying to set up a play with the Blazing Duet or anything else. This next objective, though, Foot Esports probably wants to do a better job at approaching it when that turtle spawns. I feel like they got in this position where it was just too easy for Yums to get that attach and then just, you know, bring one of the members of Foot back. Oh, there's a jump in. Rage Revenge, there it goes. It's Yums, though, again, attached to Blotzfett. Blotzfett, he's going to go ahead and try to get away from this. An arrow's going to land. Good return, though. Yums actually going to be punished this time. Good setup. So Foot Esports, Wolf also adjusting on the fly.
Oh, yeah. That's an important kill onto Yums, although that's just a roamer that will give them a lot of room to work with when it comes to positioning themselves around this next objective. But of course, it seems like SRG are reacting properly as well. They fast cleared their own lanes, and now they will be the ones to first get into the turtle. And the turtle is now low.
Turtle's low, secured by SRG, so they got 3 for 3. Now they're going to be looking for a body here as they find Blotzfett. Another kill on the board for SRG. All objectives are pretty much secured for them, too. There's still some fight here for Foot Esports, though. They're not falling too far behind. They've just got to stop the bleeding happening across the map. Yums jumping forward. Psyche's there. Yums, though, he's going to burn the flicker. And Psyche, we're going to pack the kill, but he can't. Slowly burning away. Now Psyche going to be in trouble as Stormy will take him down. A good response from SRG.
Yeah, good kill. Onto the backlines. They seem like they want to use RX this time, but in comes Blotzfett, who has to cancel the Tyrant's revenge. Is not good at all for Foot.
Oh yeah, this is, again, tough. Fighting on the tier 1 turret. SRG's been working to go ahead and grab that. They don't just yet. They do quite a bit of damage to it, though. It's barely standing here. RX still needs to go ahead and farm up. I wonder where he is currently at in terms of the item build. Here we go. Good timing. Whoa, hold on. Bloodsfet gets the Purify out. Muddle's going to be dropped down. RX, he's only got a DHS. That's one of the problems here. Deadly Magic going to be used. Nice blocking there from Bloodsfet to make sure that damage doesn't stack up. There he goes. He gets his golden staff now, so he's a bit behind. Not too much. I mean, at the 8-minute mark, just picks up and finishes his second item. But that's could be the difference factor here for Foot Esports.
Fair. And what this means is Foot Esports have bought some time again. They really have to nail this stance, and they have found Uni. Uni has to get out.
Oh, really good burst, but just not enough to finish it entirely. So they still surprisingly hold on to these turrets in that mid lane. The tier 1 standing for both sides. The burst damage is building up. Now it's up for SRG to kind of dodge these arrows around. Lord's coming up in a couple seconds. We'll see if they still decide, let's just go for this turret, open up the map a little bit, and then make something happen. But mid lane is where it's going. Yums, is he going to go for the mount here? He's quite low. Very dangerous. He's going to pop the conceal just for safety. Get back to base. Kazue waiting for patiently waiting here. He's going to go for Stormy. Good burst damage. Oh, he pops the beacon just for the shield to stay alive. And now Cram zoned out as well. They both have to go heal back up. Flying Clouds, though, will bring them back quickly. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to just clearly take this Lord as SRG is now in the area. They're going to go ahead and drop down the Muddles, forcing XC back. Stormy and Cram back for the fight. They can go ahead and re-engage. Bloodsfet charging up. He's going to go in, jumping on in, and Yums is the one to get the Lord and take out Kazooie. SRG somehow gets the objective.
That would have been really good for Foot Esports because they already nailed the stun. The stun actually hit Uni, but Kazue being down means that that's a difficult scenario for Foot Esports nonetheless. Selangor Red Giant secures the Lord, and now they have taken out XC. Just like that, it's Melissa time at 10 minutes into this game. Trinity picked up by Innocent is now a big threat for Foot Esports to deal with. And when we said earlier that the Selena is not usually the hero that won against the Melissa, we are now feeling it. Foot Esports now in massive trouble against SRG.
Yeah, this is really a tough situation to be in, but they can still clear this Lord out, I would say, relatively well. Given the fact that, you know, they're tanky enough to hold up. These shields are still up, so they're going to pop up top and in the mid. It's going to do most of the damage. Conceal is going to be used. SRG wants this turret, though, so that is going to be a base turret going down. Bloodsfet jumps in with a Rage Revenge combo, but he just eats too much damage. An arrow thrown out, but RX is gone as well. SRG looking to take down another base turret if they can, but they've got no waves pushing in.
Clean take, all things considered there for SRG, as that was just the first Lord, and they've already managed to take out one inhibitor. XC again overstepping. You cannot survive the glue in the Melissa. Now I understand why it makes total sense here. At the side of SRG, it looks really good because you have so much energy. You can take one out easily.
Oh, they're going to take out Kazue easily. They still have this cannon minion here. Can they potentially destroy the crystal? They're going to be working on it. But they're trying to buy enough time. They got another wave to push in here. And SRG, on the 12th minute mark, looks to take game one. A blazing duet comes through, but the Wind of Nature is going to pop, and he's just going to lock down on the base. The crystal is there. Another wave is pushing through, and Foot Esports is able to clear out the minions so far. XC taking up a brunt of the damage. They took out Innocent finally, but RX is still up. He's going for Cram. They're trying to take him out. They will. But they have a wave in mid, but still, Kazue will be up, and SRG has to go back.
And smartly, Selangor Red Giants will not engage anymore. Foot Esports really have to be careful about jumping and diving in front of SRG members whenever Yums is available, and at this point, anyone can be taken out by the Melissa. However, Foot Esports still defended. May have lost all of their two of their turrets, but they still keep themselves alive. Gonna be waiting for the next spawn of the Lord, and hopefully they can get something. They can make something happen out of it. But as it stands, it's Foot Esports not having a good time in game number one.
even looking at this difference here, you know, they're quite outgunned in certain lanes across the board. One of the big things is why they can't actually fight these fights just face front. If you're Foot Esports, they really got to respect this kind of power spike and advantage. Whoa, they took out Yums though. So take out Yums, that gives you a moment here to make something happen. Arrow's going to be thrown out. They're going to go for Blotzfett. So hey, both roamers down, evens out the ground, but a wave is pushing up top. So Foot Esports is going to have to deal with this. Instead, they're going to be caught in a fight. XC trying to get away here, but the Infernal Pursuit will keep them from getting away as XC falls. Now SRG has been working on this Lord the whole time. It's already at half health. They'll be able to secure this and then start marching towards the base to take game one from Foot Esports, unless Foot Esports can defend again.
How can they defend? It's the Nolan, it's the Claude that they will have to depend on. Selangor Red Giants, with the leadership of Cram right now, is really making it difficult for Foot Esports to get their foot in the door, actually. But they still have the Selena, and this is your win condition. There will be games that are turned around by the Selena. But now, when we talk about how they should be careful around showing themselves again, the glue, paying dividends for the side of Selangor Red Giants.
Here we go. They got to clear out this Lord. Causeway jumping in on the front side. XE trying to buy enough time, too. The base is going to be worked on, though. Even with the Blazing Duet, he's gone. RX is just gone so quickly. Even before you know it, base exposed. They're going to go for it and lock in game one. But SRG looks to take another kill, but they'll take the game anyway.
Clean. After their reaction to what Foot Esports did in the first few minutes, it was very clean. They understood their power spike, they knew how to utilize this Phobius, and most importantly, they made this glue plus the Melissa work. More on this series of SRG versus Foot Esports after this break. See you guys later.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз. Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
And we're back here once again. Thank you very much, Caster, for casting this game. What a beautiful game from Team Selangor Red Giants. I mean, the way how they played, it was outstanding. They got three different turtles. They got the two lords.
Yeah.
There were 8 different times of the what is it called, towers. They just played incredibly well. I mean, once again, my name is still Bork, and I joined here with Heidi. And as I was saying earlier, Heidi, right? What I was saying, Melissa and Harley are one of the best heroes here at our Games of the Future, at our MLBB games, and they actually proved it here with this game. It was a beautiful performance. Before that, we would like to remind you that Samruk Kazna is sponsoring our Digital Football. Actually, is also be playing as we speak right now, and they're playing until the 9th of August, just like MLBB does. So thank you very much, Samruk Kazna, for making the Digital Sport and supporting Digital Sport here. And you guys can support them by visiting our games here at different arenas.
Yes, of course. I mean, that was a great win by SRG. I think they really had their act together, and also the Foot also were making adjustments on the fly. I mean, SRG really had a good setup way from the start till the end. We have the highlights on the screen, but I mean, as Steel said, they had pretty much all the objectives all to themselves. I mean, SRG, the turtles, the towers, I mean, the turrets, and also the lords. Towards the end, I mean, at the end, they took the 12-minute load, and then they walked into the base of Foot Esports. I mean, we'll watch the highlights right there on the screen now. Look at that. That was a great game to watch, right?
It was a definitely great game to watch. I mean, we saw how the Selangor Red Giants, they were just playing so aggressively, so well managed, how they were fighting for this all the different turtles. So as we speak right now, minute 9, they're here fighting nearby the Lord. They got their 3 different turtles, and now they're taking 1 Lord, and just purely as 5 men running down around mid and applying so much pressure to Food Esports. I mean, we've seen Food Esports yesterday against the Team Spirit, and actually they were dominating the first game. I'm now curious to see if the Food Esports have this will of power to come back on the second game. And I mean, it was well managed, well played from the Team Red Giants from Selangor, and I mean, they just played phenomenally. Yes. I was expecting maybe like there will be a little bit challenges on communication, but watching this game, there is no communication problems. They were well managed, well played, everything well executed from SRG.
Yeah, true. I mean, SRG really had a good vision setup, and it was easy for them. I mean, they generally do not like to take risky fights. I mean, they are most likely they are usually prepared with 100% confident fights. I mean, this is the moment where I mean, we had most of the Foot Esports gone, and then once the Kazoo came back, they had to fall back during that time. But then the final load, and then they called out the load, they marched right into the base of Foot Esports and then took it down. And I think at this point, after the final load, I mean, after the 12-minute load, I think it was kind of clear that SRG was going to take the game out.
It was clear GG for sure. I mean, Kazuk playing on his hero, actually pretty good against the heroes of the SRG, but it was not enough, definitely, because as we saw in the highlights, they were just constant pressure. Now we see the scoreboards here, 6-19, 14-minute game, pretty early, I would say, and I would like to stand out the player of name Kram. He looked phenomenal, the way how he just managed on team fights. He hasn't died a single time, same as Stormy for instance, but well managed, well played. Also, Uni and Innocent having 11k net worth, a lot of gold that they have on their hands. I mean, and Kazuk, the guy who has been MVP multiple times and stand out the player of yesterday, couldn't manage to carry his team on a victory. But they have a still chance of game number 2.
Of course. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next round. But before that, let's give a big round of shout out for Yandex.Go for being one of the sponsors for this tournament. I mean, make sure you scan the QR right up on the screen and download Yandex.Go app, because you got everything in one place. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So make sure you download that, check it out, Yandex.Go, and huge shout out to them as well. But yeah, as you said, I mean, we still got one more game to decide if we're going to have a third round or not.
Right.
But I mean, we have to also, I didn't really pay into the fact that we had Uni on SRG, where the Sekis whatnot there. So Uni really had that responsibility of handling that retribution right there. But we have the team stats on the screen. What do you think, Steel?
Yeah, I think Kran for me
Kran,
was
yeah.
a standout player for sure. The amount of damage he applied in comparison to Xe, for example, it was more than like 1.5, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like around, let's round it out to 15,000 hero damage, and the gold lead is around 3,000 more. And KDA we see 12.00 to 0.020 from Xe, and Xe needs to definitely wake up on the second game, and for sure, I mean, he doesn't want to get eliminated at the greatest tournament of his life, I would say, because this is considered to be tier S tournament, and a wonderful tournament here at the beautiful Jack Pujek Arena at the game of the future.
Of course, I mean, I really believe, I think we have a high chance of Kram coming up as the MVP for the last one. I mean, considering his 6 kills, 0 deaths and 6 assists, I mean, he's been a part of 12 kills for the team. I mean, he took 6 and assisted in 6 as well. I mean, that's a really good stats to have there. I mean, I really think he has a good chance of being the MVP for the last game, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's not even about the stats, Haiti. It's just the way how he played in the team fights, how he was applying the pressure, how he was always there to help out the team and whatnot, and was doing great actually. And I mean, just big shout out to him, and hopefully you're gonna see the second game, and second game might be a good favor for the team of Food Esports.
For sure, for sure. Let's not forget to give a shout out for Freedom for bringing MLBB right here at the Games of the Future 2026 in Astana. I mean, without them, this wouldn't have been possible. I mean, we are all having a great time. So let's give a big shout out for Freedom for bringing MLBB here. But as we go, we still got possibly one round for sure, and we still don't know if there's going to be a third round. And here we got Uni actually as the MVP. I mean, good performance, I should say. Right?
I didn't see much of Uni, but actually I agree with it, because if you take a look at kill participation point, 95 kill participation, he's always there to help his team. He's always applying that constant pressure. Yes, he didn't were showing in terms of the kills, right? But he was always there to help up and assist his teams. I mean, what a performance from Uni, and what a well performance strategically through the team of Selangor Red Giants. I mean, big shout out to them. 3 totals are taken, 2 lords are taken, well managed, taking all the the towers, the pressure from them was just incredible.
True.
And
so, I mean,
definitely it's just a wonderful performance from the team, and we'll see how Food Esports. I'm not sure why I want to keep saying Food Eaters, but Food Esports can make a comeback or not. That's quite. That we'll see definitely.
That's true. I mean, SRG actually pushed the game way to the late stage, which is their superpower, I would say. I mean, which is how they usually play. But Foot didn't get, I would say, the early clutch on the whole game. I mean, they usually go all in and then smash the opponent usually, they are known for hyper aggressive gaming, right? I mean, they are very octane play styles, high octane play style, I would say. But I mean, I mean, these things can happen. Both are really great teams, not to deny.
No, of course. I mean, Food Esports are the youngsters, and they actually were hyped. And let's see if they have they can manage to overcome their nervousness and do their game well, and give their best on the game number 2, because we definitely need to see, because as a reminder, this is a single elimination bracket. Once you're out of the turn, you're out of the tournament, unless you're gonna playing for the 3rd or 4th place, but that's for later. And also what I was mentioning to you guys about the stats, right? I remember I was mentioning you guys about Melissa and Harley being at the top of the top. So there were now Melissa has 17 wins and 9 losses, so meaning it has actually more than 60, I believe it's 65 to 66% of win rate overall here in this tournament. And moreover, Harley, it's now 13 and 9 on the hero list. So we'll definitely take a look. It's a good note for you guys, and if you guys are young players and like to compete at great game of the MLBB and you want to be here at beautiful arena, you can just get better and just copy of the pro players and the way how they do. And I mean, maybe we'll see you here at beautiful JPEG Arena or different other arenas throughout the world, right?
Of course. I mean, what do you think? Do we have any predictions for the next round? Are we gonna have a totally different outcome when it comes to the play, how it goes? Do you think?
I mean, it honestly depends on the draft. Because as soon as I saw the draft, as soon as I saw the Harley and Melissa together in the same team, I was like, oh, I think I would give a point to SRG, right? But I've been told there is a Kazu was playing on his hero, which is really good against the heroes of Team SRG. But Kazu, I mean, a great player, outstanding player from yesterday. He actually fallen me in love into his gameplay. But we'll definitely see. It's hard to predict. It will be mostly applied on drafts. I mean, we never know what to expect, how to expect, and how it's going to be played out.
I mean, the Kazu indeed actually showed really good performance yesterday in yesterday's games. So I was really hoping, but again, both are really strong teams. I mean, Kazu, they are all facing their opponents, which are really strong. That's going to be really challenge for each team and each player to go forward, and with totally different strategies as both the teams has, considering their play styles, considering how they do the drafting. So I mean, we are yet to see how this is going to turn out, but. Again, I mean, in the next draft, we don't know how that's going to turn out, right? I mean, SRG loves picking some heavy wave-clearing mages, to be honest. I mean, like Faramis, Lilia, Farsa, but we are yet to see if they're going to really go with those heroes which they usually take, because we are in for surprises. I mean, it's MLBB's tournament.
Definitely. I mean, yesterday, as you were mentioning, the Psyche were here at the panels desk. He was actually very happy that they won the Team Spirit, and there was happy to be advanced forward. And we see people here at the wonderful JPEG Arena, Food Esports, the manager and the coaches that here also cheering for their team, and they were actually surprised on a couple things, and maybe they'll just change a couple details, and we'll see a different Team Food Esports.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Psyche actually did great in the last game as well. I mean, he did really great. I mean, he went with I believe Selena. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but. I mean, I would say good hero choices, and also it's going to be a challenge. Every drafting phase is a challenge, right? I mean, the one you have eyes on, the other team might take them out, or the other team might ban them. So,
or maybe they can just steal the hero that you initially have had an idea of that person on the draft, and then it's going to be a little bit different. And here we see how we're flying here in beautiful our city, Astana. We're reminding you guys, this is Games of the Future, and this one is a JPEG Arena that you guys are seeing now. And you know what? And also would like to give you guys a little bit history, a little bit background of the game, of the MLBB game, and stay tuned to take a look at the beautiful history.
Did you know that a fan-made map jump-started a whole genre in competitive sports and contributed to the development of one of the adored games of many, Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, abbreviated as MOBA, is a subgenre of strategical games which started out just as a game called Aeon of Strife. Though it was far less developed than the typical games in the genre, since the characters didn't have any abilities. But the principle for the gameplay was established quite clearly. Players controlled a single hero unit fighting on 3 lanes, which were protected by defensive towers. Might be unusual to hear for us now, since the MOBA genre is so popular. But it was not true at all for the first 6 years of the genre's existence. Dota, League of Legends, Smite, Heroes of the Storm popularized the genre and eventually led to the creation of Mobile Legends. Released in 2016, Mobile Legends was designed to appeal to a broad audience, and appeal it did. The free-to-play business model, along with captivating heroes, were enough to win over the hearts of many gamers. Now, Mobile Legends Bang Bang has a rich international presence, attracting many players from Southeast Asia and South America.
And we're back here once again. We just witnessed a great history of MOBA Mobile, and just not even about MOBA Mobile Legends, but overall MOBAs in general. As said by the history, I'm from different MOBA myself. I'm from Dota 2, and it's just incredible to take a look how different game is, and how you would see it from different angles. I personally like MOBA Mobile, just interesting, fascinating, very fast-paced, and for a very fast-paced game, and it's quite interesting how you see it on actual mobile, and you saw the emotions, and it was very beautiful.
Yep.
And I believe now our people are getting ready, and let's give the words to the casters. Please, Naiso and Wolf, please take it away.
Thank you so much, yes, as well as Haiti, for breaking down game number 1. There wasn't that much to break down though, Nice, and I know that you feel the same way. It was dominance coming out from SRG right off the bat. Well, not literally, because there was a time where Foot Esports actually managed to land good kills and good pickups, but they just couldn't follow up afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, Wolf, where, Foot Esports just kind of, they didn't find their footing. I hate to say it, but it's like, all pun intended. But
I see what you did
we already
there.
saw them do this yesterday. You even said, they put their foot to the pedal yesterday in the matchup against Team Spirit, and I think that's what was lacking in Game 1 against SRG. There was an attempt early game, especially playing to the strengths of, okay, we can go ahead and hone in on Innocent. He doesn't have that go-away ultimate on the Melissa. And by the way, big shout-outs to Alias there and Heidi for the stat right now. I was so surprised that the Melissa has been picked that much, right, already up to this point. Was it 17 wins, I think, that Melissa has currently?
Yeah, 16.
16 or so, but that's just how good of a pick Melissa is right now. And so if you can kind of target the weakness of a Melissa early on, that's great. But then what is your game plan after that? And I think that's where they faltered. Foot Esports had a plan for the early game, and then it just kind of fell apart when they lost all 3 turtles to SRG and when they lost those fights to SRG. And even for Blotzfett, he really has to be a little more cautious on his entries. Like, we saw him with the Kufra in the previous game, really get targeted, and a lot of the times it wasn't as valuable as, for example, where we saw Yums utilizing that glue. And so now we've got a bit of different priority going on, where it's the Valentina first pick blue side for Foot Esports, but it's the same so far on the response for SRG with the Melissa and the Harley.
Yeah, this is what I kind of expected last time. I think I prefer this much better than Selena as a first pick. However, I still don't like the fact that they're willingly giving away 2 good heroes. Elias actually mentioned that when he saw the Melissa as well as the Harley picked up by one team, immediately defaulted to rooting for that team. And I can't blame him. This is such a good opening for the side of SRG, and for a team like SRG, who has a lot of experience, has been competing internationally for quite a long time now. This is way too much of a leeway that they're giving. So I wonder if Foot Esports will have a different closing draft now. Well, they do have the Atlas as well as the Paquito, which is already very good.
Okay. I like this. I will say I like it a little bit better, at least for the first 3 picks that Foot Esports has here. I think the main thing, again, is the change that they need to make going into Game 2 and not letting SRG just kind of scale out of control. I do expect them to do essentially the same thing, at least against Innocent, and you can see SRG kind of responding. They're actually going to pick up a Kimmy. You do not see Kimmy picked up often anymore in the current meta, but it still serves a purpose, right? It's great for initiations if you need to. It's great for peeling if you have to. Kimmy's pretty self-sustainable in her own right, just because, again, you can, you have that mobility. You'll most likely, obviously, run with a couple Purifies in this lineup that SRG is going to have, because you've got the Atlas across from you. So the next thing is, again, what is your front line going to be? Because these first 3 picks for SRG, quite squishy, quite vulnerable, so you need a really good, beefy roam and then XP in the hands of Cram. And so there's some choices here that Foot Esports is going to have to make for those bans.
Yeah. It's going to be the Nolan, so they're going to be limiting their options. But the good thing about the Paquito, when you prioritize it, is that you can swing into the jungle role if in case you don't have any other good hero to pick as your jungler. That's why the Paquito priority pick whenever there's no bats. I think it's such a good way to approach the game. They still have to solve this problem of the Melissa. I feel like with the problem with the Valentina is that it's unlike your typical mages like Farsa or Eve, where you have an actual access to the Melissa with just your ultimate. It's not easy at all to actually handle the Melissa with this kind of composition from Foot Esports. So they still have to find a way. So I think that they will eventually get a marksman. I feel like the Clint or a Brody would be a good way to close their composition.
Clint or Brody. I wonder if SRG is actually going to go ahead and expend one of their bans towards the gold lane options. Maybe a Clint if they want to. They already took out the Nolan again, jungle-wise too. I don't know if there's a world where we see the Paquito go in the hands of Kazue, because we did see some jungle Paquito, right? I mean, that is a thing. That's a flexible option right now. So they just go with Guinevere. So they take out the Guinevere. That does deal with a lot of the crowd control that Guinevere could have provided for this, and it also helps deal with alleviating some of that pressure for the Atlas to get those Purifies out, but nonetheless, that's not there. So also the Kufra last ban here. It would have been funny to see Yums go ahead and pick that up if it didn't get banned, but now for this choice, the red 4 choice for SRG, they're probably just going to go ahead and grab they could just grab their roam now or this XP, depends on what they want to prioritize, because they still got to see the gold lane option and the potential, the XP option from Foot Esports.
Yeah. In that case, the glue might fit again, right? And it's a flex pick that you can park as your 4th pick because it can be EXP or Chrome. But they will go for the Gatot Kacha, which is more of a defensive option. This is a way for them to get through the Atlas eventually. When there's an ultimate, they do have that reset button with the Avatar of the Guardian to aid them if in case they need to reset the fight. And also, it has a good synergy with the Kimi. It's a very strong mid duo.
Yep.
Very stable. You can help each other out. The taunt is there. You have the Revitalize if in case you need to. That's an overall good defensive type of hero here for Selang or Giants. Foot Esports, I think they're better off picking up the Brody or the Clint. And when they do, they have to look for another damage type. Okay, so XP. Okay, I like the Brody. I'm not entirely sure about the Hayabusa, but it does have it gives them another option to deal with the Melissa. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, we only saw, I think so far it was one team that played the Hayabusa, and that was Rune Eaters, I believe it was, so far, at least here for Games of the Future. So this is, again, it's a bit of a risk for Foot Esports to bring this out. Maybe it ends up working. I agree with you. I get with the Brody here too. Something to deal with from a range, and you know that you're going to be dealing with a lot of pressure, especially with that Gatakacha there. Now, what do they put in the XP lane for Cram to go ahead? I don't see him playing the Phoveus again, but he's going to go ahead and grab the Ruby. So a lot of crowd control. I think one of the biggest obstacles for Foot Esports, man, is there's just an insane amount of crowd control that can catch them off guard. Traction Pulse, that Avatar of the Guardian or the Unbreakable, the taunt that Gatakacha has, plus all that crowd control that a Ruby provides. Whereas on the other side, it's like, okay, we've got a Valentina. What's the best ultimate to take here? A lot of the times there's even ways you can go ahead and use that I'm Offended, that Ruby ultimate to set things up. So I think that might be, it might be overloading too, some of the choices for Psyche to go ahead and take, but really good drafting here. I have to lean towards, once again, though, SRG with this draft. I think it's, especially how they executed the last game.
Yeah, SRG's drafter is really, really good. And I like it when they combine the go away and I'm offended. It's like, that's the combo.
That's a sentence right there.
That's a sentence, pretty much. But kidding aside, what you get from this composition with the last pick Ruby is a lot of control in team fights, a lot of not only crowd control, but overall threat whenever it is off cooldown. Whenever there is a battle spell, there's a flicker, for example. There's always a lot of ways for you to approach the fights, and SRG have rounded up this composition so well. Cram is one of those players as well that can actually play the Ruby so well. They're very masterful with it. So there's a lot of positive things about this Ruby last pick, and I really like how they closed this one out.
Yeah, Cram knows he's going to be taking punches, literally. So he ends up getting 2 leather jerkins. Oh no, I thought I saw 2 leather jerkins. He's going to go for those tougher boots to go ahead and deal with this. Again, XC with the damage. But one thing is for sure is just the fact that you have this much crowd control at your disposal if you're SRG can be a big problem. I mean, even if you take a couple shots like this, once Cram, depending on the build path that he goes on, you're not really, even if you can do some damage, Ruby's just gonna go ahead and heal that back up, right? This is the main thing. So you have to start to look at, okay, where is the XP laner is able to go ahead and bring that value to these team fights or the first objective. And if played properly, yes, Paquito dishes out a ton of damage, so hopefully your Hayabusa can capitalize on it, eventually your Brody. But it's getting through these team fights, it's weaving through these team fights and the crowd control that can be thrown at them.
Yeah, that's already one of the things that they really have to think about now. For Foot Esports, it's all about their lineup a little bit in a way that is positive, because it's impossible that they don't have a good way to approach teamfights, and I think it's a fatal links, as well as the Hayabusa that can be a problem for the Melissa later on. The Brody is a good lane matchup up against the Melissa, so I think there's a lot of ingredients that Foot Esports have shown us that they can actually fight against SRG. It's just difficult in the early stages.
Oh, this is really dangerous, actually. They don't have a Revitalize for this, but XC actually goes down. Turtle will be secured, though, by Foot Esports. But that's 2 kills going to SRG. I'd expect them to not really have that freeway to just go get kills off of that, but they trade it for the objective.
Yeah, they did. And
all Yums.
All the better. They want to go for... Oh! Okay!
Oh.
Whoa,
the distance.
Oh my goodness. I didn't think that you can actually get to that point, but yeah, he maxed out the distance and he was rewarded for it.
Oh, Cram's in trouble too. Nice Terrify. Kazue getting 2 kills, man. Okay, I mean, you were talking about their lineup, Wolf. Well, now they're showcasing the lineup. It's still even across the gold, but that's going to be some extra gold up top going in the hands of Foot Esports. I did not know he'd be able to shadow kill like that, you know, even with the Avatar of the Guardian. I guess he hit it at the right time.
Yeah, it's just the timing. It's just all about that timing. But yeah, sometimes you really forget how much the Hayabusa's range could be, especially because we have not seen the Hayabusa for quite a long time now. Especially played properly like this. Kazue is already, what, 2-0. And already a good start for Foot Esports.
Okay. Right now, essentially equal across the board. This will set a really fun take on the second turtle, though, once it's up. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be anyone that goes down beforehand, just because, again, these... Especially the ultimate now that it's available for Blotsfet. But there's the pull. That's the I'm offended. There's the Fatal Links, too, to follow through. He's trying to survive. There's just way too much there for SRG. And so they've got the Atlas taken care of. This should be a turtle for them to take, but Blotsfet should be back up in time if somehow Foot Esports delay this, or they just go ahead and decide to wait. Psyche is holding on to the I'm offended, but Yum's holding that bush. Whoa, a decisive flicker forward. Cram's still going to be alive. They couldn't get off that shadow kill that they were looking for, so it's going to be a disengage in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Turtle's going to be worked on by Foot Esports, so off of that, Psyche makes it happen, so they get the second turtle.
Oh, this is cool because we saw how SRG have adjusted. They want to go for kill Foot Esports. Get Kazue another one. That's a kill spree for the Hayabusa, which is really good overall for Foot Esports. But yeah, SRG are moving just like how they moved the previous game, where in the moment that they try to group up, they are getting kills. Foot Esports, however, adjusting accordingly as well. They are now activating their Brody by going to the Brody's lane and getting a push.
Yeah, and he's already got the Blade of Pepsis, I believe, so this is the power spike time for Foot Esports, at least early on. You know, we were saying that SRG's lineup is really well-rounded, and it was what I was leaning toward, but the way that they're kind of dealing with Foot Esports is aggression is not helping right now. They've kind of got to go ahead and build up for Innocent. Kazue has done a great job. It's going to be RX that actually picks up the Sky Piercer here on the Brody. So he's going to be looking to go ahead and get those stacks built up here. Yums picks up the antique cuirass, first item locked in defensively, needs that to go ahead and deal with so much physical damage being thrown at them.
Yeah, it's on to the middle. This SRG, 5 of their members gonna be pushing there. They do have the Kimi too, which is a big threat. They not only have such a good start, but now they're trying to take control of the map.
Oh. Fatal Links gonna be used. Cram though goes in with crowd control. Go away, Wolf King, and that I'm offended, and they're locked down in the mid, and now they're in trouble with the traction pulse. RX, he's got the deadly magics on him, and Uni will pick up a kill. SRG brings themselves back into it. They want to go for this tier 1. The third turtle's going to be up here in a couple seconds, so they'll grab a turret and make their way to the turtle.
Yeah, they have important kills out there. Good punish. That was a weird flicker that we saw, but they were successful afterwards. They get a kill. And they have pushed a turret in the middle too. And this also means that SRG will now get so much control of the river with just 2,000 gold lead, but they do take out the turret in the middle, and they've also poised to push into the bottom lane too. So there's a lot of manage that they're getting from these movements. It's 5-man movements, in fact.
A little traction pulse thrown out just to push Causeway off this tier 2 turret. Zoning out with the muddles too, and Krem just standing there. So they're going to trade it out. RX will be able to go ahead and grab that tier 1 up top, but it's going to be responded by Uni. The rest of the team, SRG, I don't think they get the shield here. I'd be really surprised. Okay, the minions actually make their way through, so they pop the shield. There's the I'm offended. They're going to be able to lock down Psyche. And now SRG could be on the run. Fatal Link's going to be used. They're tracked in here on side of the jungle. Shadow Kill already used as well. XE won't be able to escape the muddles, man. Innocent. Able to find one, and that's going to be a ticking deadly magic to take out Blotsfet.
Oh, the AOG hitting onto the backlines. Good play coming from RX to get out with the flicker as well as the stun, but this means that SRG going to be chunking down the turret in the bottom lane. They were successful with it. Didn't even need the Lord, as they have taken the turret into the bottom lane. An inhibitor without getting into the 8-minute mark.
That is insane, Wolf. 8 minutes, base turret down. They also popped the shield in the mid. I mean, it's not like they have this crazy lead across the board, except, you know, I mean, it's Yums, right? He's got a 1.6K ahead of Blotsfet, but that's not even it. It's just the way that they're utilizing their crowd control. This is what we were talking about in the draft. And yes, there was a moment there for Foot Esports to have some of that upper hand because of the way they were playing. But as you just saw, once those items are kind of in place, even if it's just 1 or 2 items, SRG's lineup just works synergistically better. Forcing fights, you know, crowd controlling the right targets, locking down. And this is why they're going to easily take this Lord here, because Foot Esports doesn't have an answer just yet. So they do go just take the buff. Causeway takes the purple. But now they got to deal with this Lord push. Oh, they're going to try to make a play here.
They're kind of making a play Blotsfet onto the backlines, but they're too far away. SRG sniffs that one out. Yeah, they're not going to fall for it. In fact, they will fight after the Fatal Links being forced.
Yeah, try the Guardian use. Blotsfet just left to his own. A slow, painful death on the Atlas. Concealed use by Yums. They're going to be chasing him down here, going for this Causeway there. He needs to clear this wave. It is a chunky wave on that top side, and now the mid turret's going to be worked on. Lord hasn't even made it to the base yet. They're forcing back Foot Esports here as the mid turret falls. SRG sees a sweep in sight. Looking to end the ear. Krem still has the I'm offended, and Flicker is back up now. XC has to go heal back up. Taking the deadly magic. This Lord, they got to deal with this. They want to go ahead and lock onto the crystal. They're going to force a fight anyway, looking for a Fatal Link setup if they can. There's the pull. Cram could be in trouble. Gets knocked in the air, though, and Cram is gone. Now SRG looking to take down Blotsfet as they get him out. The base, a couple hits away. They can just lock it in, and SRG will do just that to send Foot Esports home in a sweep.
One-sided again from SRG. Back-to-back games where they have found their Melissa together with this Harley. Very strong in the meta game, and there's a reason why that those are S-tier heroes. Unfortunately, after Foot Esports scored an upset yesterday, they looked phenomenal. But now, they don't. SRG took the wind out of them and just won in a very one-sided manner. SRG are back in their winning ways, and they're going to be moving forward really quickly into the bracket. But for now, let's still celebrate what Foot Esports were able to achieve in this tournament. We're going to have a word with the members of SRG, and we will have a moment to congratulate them in this victory. For now, we're going to be hopping into a break and then the desk.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз. Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
And welcome back. We have the winners SRG in the last game. I mean, that's a clean 2-0. Oh, big thanks to Niso and Wolf for that casting. I mean, I really love what you did there. I mean, Foot didn't find their footing. I mean, that was really nice what they did. But huge shout out to SRG for a clean win. I mean, 2 out of 2. I mean,
yeah, they did phenomenally. We have a wonderful guest here, the winner of Team SRG, Uni from Team SRG. Welcome and congratulations. How are you?
Thank you.
How's everything?
Yeah, feeling good because we got 2-0 clean sweep, right? So feeling good and happy.
That's very. We're happy to hear that. It's really awesome. How was the games? Was it according to the plan that you guys stick to the plan, or how you guys managed to do it 2-0?
Yeah, I think we just more prepared than Foot Esports, and yeah, we better than them. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna focus on the next game.
That's good.
That's good. The first, the picks. I mean, when you picked the Harley and Melissa, we were like, okay, they've got both of them, so they're gonna. But then when you went to the second game, you did the same. So were you already planned, or you were like, do we really want to change it?
I think it's just because our hero power, and they ban the same hero also, so we just stick to the plan and ban the same also. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great performance.
That's good. I was also saying maybe there will be a little bit unupset because the Foot Esports, they won the team spirit before, right? Yeah. So like the team is hyped up already and they've been in the crowd before you guys. And for you guys, I mean, you guys are clear favorites, don't get me wrong, but they already are more prepared, you know what I mean? And maybe more hyped up. Did you feel any sort of like scared or anything before the matches after they winning Team Spirit?
Maybe after they winning on Team Spirit, I think, yeah, they're pretty strong, but yeah, when we're together also, we're stronger.
Yeah,
so,
good. That's,
we can fight anyone.
I like the confidence here. You heard it from Unique himself. It's awesome to hear that.
I think that's a perfect spirit to go into any game, right? I mean, no matter who the opponent is, I mean, you are going to get that game. That's the only way to go, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was asking, it's your first time in Kazakhstan. I believe it's in the whole Central Asia. How is the Kazakhstan for you? And how is the game of the future overall, the experience, the people, the everything, the food?
For me, Kazakhstan, quite good. The food, because we already go to 1 or 2 restaurants. We already taste some kind of steak and pizza like that. Yeah. So I think quite good. The food, and so easy to find halal food here. So yeah.
Good.
And for the JF also, I think it's quite good. More for me, just same like MPL, the vibe.
Oh, that's good to know. I wanted to ask you a personal question, because you guys have 3 Malaysian players and 2 Filipino players.
Yeah.
And was there's a communication problems whatsoever? Because by the looks of the game one, it was no problems whatsoever. But still wanted to ask you, because it's an international team overall, and how is it in terms of communication with your teammates?
For our communication, we just speak English. Yeah, we all just speak English. But when it comes to like maybe Crumb and Innocent want to talk to each other, they just speak Tagalog.
Okay.
And then for our local Malaysian 3 player, we just talk Malaysian also sometimes. Yeah.
I see.
But likely English.
Mostly English. That's good to know. I mean, by the looks of it, you guys had no problems whatsoever. There was a clean game, clean of 2-0. I have a question. It was way clean on the game number 1, because you guys got the 3 turtles and whatsoever. On the game 2, Food Esports, they gave a good fight there early, and it felt like they did give you guys pressure. Don't you feel like that, or you guys were having that mindset early might be a little bit challenged, but the later you guys get this game in the bag?
Yeah, for me, even though our mid game or early game we're losing, but end up the late game will be the result.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are talking about two teams with entirely different type of play styles, right? Foot just goes all in way from the start. And when it comes to SRG, you like it to play very disciplined, very slow, but take it to the late game and then take the game. So did you ever think like the initial push from the Foot is going to be a challenge, or you were like, nope, we're going to take it slow, we're going to stick to the plan and go to make it till the end, and maybe after the 12-minute load, we're going to march to the base, like how you did in the first game?
For us, we just try to be aggressive on the early game, but if it did not work, we're gonna try a late game, just that.
Of course. I mean, that's the spirit to go to any game.
Yeah. What they just proved here at the beautiful Jik Arena here in the beautiful country of Kazakhstan, Astana, Game of the Future 2026. I mean, you've been saying very confidently, I do respect that as an esport player, esport coach myself. Now, real spicy question, is there anything you would like to meet up on the future games, like in your next opponents? And what you want to say to them and to your actual fans from the Southeast Asian region?
I think for the next game, we just fight anyone. Because we don't care.
You don't care?
Yeah, just try to fight anyone. And for the fans also from Malaysia, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you guys keep supporting us till grand final, inshallah. Bismillah.
Inshallah. That was Uni. I have no questions. You have any questions, Heidi?
All good. I mean, that's a perfect spirit to go. Like anyone, any team it may be, obviously gonna get it. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations again. Hope to see you again.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. All the best to you. All the best. I mean, that was Uni from Team Selangor Red Giants. Thank you very much, Uni, once again, and good luck to you guys in the upcoming games. Yeah, that was Uni. Thank you, Uni. You may can go, and I mean, what a chat!
Perfect.
What a chat!
I mean, great
that was
performance.
So confident. Everything played out extremely well, and yes, I mean, Selangor winning now.
Yeah.
Selangor Red Giants winning now, meaning Food Esports are eliminated from the tournament. I would like to appreciate Food Esports for their performances. They made a sensational victory over Team Spirit yesterday, and today they are out of the Selangor Red Giants. I mean, with this player being so confident, he wasn't cocky though.
Yeah.
He was very confident. I just really respect the confidence level from his eyes and his talks. It just and also it wasn't arrogant. You know what I mean? So it was personally well executed. He stood on his word, and best of luck to them.
Of course. I mean, perfectly done. We have the highlights on the screen at the moment, and we can see clearly how the game actually went. We are at the 9th mark, and then as you can see, the scores is like 3-9. I mean, Selangor really had a good lead towards the late game, which they are known for. I mean, they are really good in pushing the stuff to the late game. And also towards the late game, it was interesting to see. I mean, they were marching down to the base of Foot Esports, but they had their load coming after they appeared on the base, which was really interesting. I mean, they didn't wait for the load to get there.
Yeah,
they were march right in.
They just applied so much pressure. I mean, they applied so much pressure, even though Food Esports, they were doing extremely well in the early game, as he was admitting himself that they were losing early.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the result are the end of the game. So the ending and the end was clearly on their favor. And then, as we can see, the scoreboard here, 4-12, Uni making 4-4. I mean, just great individual performance, and he's being happy. He was playing he was actually playing a Harley.
Yep.
The hero that I was mentioning earlier about the factor that it's been already 14 wins and 9 losses on Harley, the hero itself on the game of the future, and also Melissa. I mean, Melissa now on 18 wins and 9 losses. They have absurd amount of win rate. And people are actually, they didn't ban the heroes. I mean, Food Esports, they decided to stick on their bans.
Exactly.
They didn't ban Melissa, they didn't ban the Harley, even though those two heroes are showing promising results here at beautiful Jekujik Arena at the Games of the Future here.
Indeed, I mean, that's a good win, that's a good lead. I mean, it's a clean 0-2-0 win, and with that, to even the last game they had like 8 kill lead. That was like 4-12. I mean, that's really great performance by Selangor Red Giants. Of course, let's not forget how the Foot Esports performed as well. Great fight they put up there. But of course, this wouldn't be happening if not for our sponsors, Freedom, for making the MLBB possible here in Games of the Future 2026, happening right here in the astonishing Astana. And we've been enjoying the city, and of course we just heard from Uni himself that how he's been exploring the city, how the team has been loving the place as well. So we are really excited to see what we have coming up for the next games. I mean, we got the next one. We have ONIC versus DFYG. I mean, really two good teams, right?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yangfeng Yao Guai were showing promising games yesterday, and they lost one game, but they managed it through on the game 3 and they won their series. Now they're facing an extreme favorites as well, ONIC. I mean, Aurora was pointing they would like to see ONIC, and ONIC are one of also another key team and the key stars and the previous champions before, right? So
yes.
They were doing absolutely amazing. And here we see Toto between Yums and Bloodsfeet. I would like to make a shout out to Bloodsfeet. The early game that how he played, he was making so much space. He was creating so much space for his team. As we can see here with damage taking, 90k damage taken. It's more than double of damage taken from Yums. I mean, he wasn't a standout player on the Food Esports Bloodsfeet, but the factor how he managed to be a shield for his team, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To take the damage and be taking that important role actually to be a defensive and just making a space all around for his team. And at minute 4, I remember it was really a lot of space done by Bloodsfeet.
Yeah, and also in the initial phase of the games, I think for Foot Esports, Bloodsfeet actually really put up a really good fight, and also being a part of the whole team. I mean, trying to push them in their native style of aggression, but I mean, unfortunate, but we don't know what's going to happen in any games, right? I mean, unfortunate situations and unplanned surprises, we never know. But let's not forget, make sure you get the tickets on ticketon.com. You're going to have the QR code right up there on the screen now. Make sure you scan that, get to ticketon.com, grab your tickets, because we are running out of games as every hour goes, because we are finishing up games. We got more winners, we got more people had to get eliminated as well, which is unfortunate, but this is all a part of the tournament, so it is what it is. We're gonna move ahead with the next games coming up. Are you excited for Onyx and DFYZ?
Definitely excited. It would be interesting to take a look at the two different regions are facing off of each other. It would be interesting to take a look at how well they prepare to each other, because Onyx were also being clearly favorites here, and it would be interesting how they can do against Yang Feng Yao Guy, and we'll get to know that quite soon. And as you were saying earlier, make sure to get the tickets, because people are getting a lot of spaces here at Jack Pajak Arena, and we're getting more and more people coming in, and make sure to come here and cheer for your support. As you can see here at the background, people are getting ready meanwhile. And MVP here, actually Stormy, surprisingly 92% of kill participations. What an absolute goat. I haven't seen his game all around, but the thing is, you're getting MVP because of the kill participation, because you're always there. You'll not be a shine superstar, but you will be always nominee because you're always there.
Yes.
And the factor that our Stormy was there supporting his team and being at the back, let's put it that way, and not taking Yumi and spotlight and everything, but he was there to make sure that everybody goes smooth for Team SRG.
That's true. I mean, that was the first match done for today. I mean, we still got 3 matches to go, and we are yet to find out what's going to happen at the end of the day. I mean, who will be the 4 winners from today? We're still going to find out. But up next, we got Onyx versus DFYG. We actually watched DFYG perform yesterday, like really good performance. They have put up a fight yesterday, and they're known for the unpredictability, even in draft phase or on the Sanctum Island. So we are yet to see. I mean, Onyx is also known for stealing buffs as well. I mean, we are yet to see how that goes. But let's see what we got up next, and we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah. You need.
And of course, let's not forget, we have a shout out for Sven, because it's a really cool thing that Sven is actually gifting all the participants for the finals for every game from their astonishing sound systems. I mean, that's really good. But huge shout out to Sven for being a partner for Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. We have up next, of course, Onyx versus DFYG. We both are really, really excited for watching the next game. Do you think there is going to be a third round for the next one? It's going to be a tight competition.
I can't predict those kind of things. I mean, we'll definitely take a look on the draft first, and let's see, because we never know what's going to be happening, how many maps are going to be played here at beautiful Jack Pajak Arena and at the Game of the Future. It's definitely going to be interesting if the Yang Feng Yao Guy can make it through, because they looked phenomenal, promising against Team Vamos.
Yeah.
And the first game against Team Vamos, they actually played it extremely well. And then they lost on the second game. And the third game, there was a good fight between each teams, and DFYJ came up as a victor. And here you guys can see our beautiful futuristic authentic art. And this is a beautiful, our city of Kazakhstan, Astana, the capital city here. And yeah, we'll definitely be excited to take a look at more heroes, the more combination and more strategical decisions. I think personally, DFYJ is a more conservative team. It felt like that, it looked like that, and how they played the game #1 against the Team Vamos, it was exceptional well. I mean, they did it fine. But the thing is, Team DFYJ played yesterday, so they have not had like the 1 day off, and Onyx is more prepared because they had an extra day to relax, to take a look at what's going to happen and how it's going to be playing. And I'm pretty sure they were watching the games yesterday all around and gathering all information they need for their victory.
Of course. I mean, we are talking about 2 really great teams coming up next, DFYG and Onyx. I mean, if we really look at their the battles, retribution battles, I mean, DFYG takes usually, or they are expected to take mostly 50-50 smite fight on turtles, which you are yet to see, where Onyx prefers more of guaranteed setups. I mean, they don't want to walk into unexpected situation. They love to have the setups in order and then take the fight. So it's more, I would say, more less stressful when you compare to, I mean, you coming up or welcoming with unexpected situations, right? So, and when it comes to DFYG, they are all about unpredictability. So there's going to be two different styles battling with each other. It's going to be a challenge for both of the teams.
Definitely. About you know, what about that, Haiti? I would like to also mention that we have a good video here for Onyx Esports, and we'll actually let's take a look and get to know Onyx a little bit closer.
Yep.
We're still here at the Games of the Future, where the world's best teams have gathered to compete for the title of International Champions. Our next guests hardly need an introduction. Known as the Kings of the Sky, ONIC have built a legacy as one of the most successful organizations in Southeast Asian esports. With countless titles, an iconic Sonic Republic fanbase, and a reputation for setting the standard in Mobile Legends, they're a team that every opponent has to respect. Guys agreed to share their experience and feelings regarding today's tournament. Let's see what they have to say. Could you introduce yourself?
My name is Kyrie. I'm the jungler for Team ONIC Esports.
Got it. Let's start with the questions. What does participation in Games of the Future mean to you?
It means a lot to me since the last time we participated in the current Games of the Future, we won first place, so we want to do it again.
Interesting. What do you think of the phygital sport?
Yeah, I think it opens a lot of opportunities for a lot of players, so it's very good.
Good point. By the way, you have a pretty busy schedule. What is the next tournament you're planning to visit?
After this tournament, we have MPL Indonesia, 4 days after the GOF.
I see what you mean. If your opponents could ban one hero, what do you think it would be?
Oh, I think the one hero that they need to ban is Selena, because Sans is very good at using Selena.
Thanks for your answer, and let's move on. You seem to have the strongest fan base. How did it happen? Do you think it is because of how you play, or because of your personality?
I don't really know. All I know is I'm very grateful to my fans, and yeah, very happy.
Great! Moving on, how do your fans affect you emotionally?
Whenever I feel down, a lot of my fans try to, cheer me up. So it's been very good to receive a lot of support from my fans. So thank you guys.
That's fun. Do you talk to the fans on Instagram?
I don't really open social media that much, but whenever I try to do live stream, I always try to, connect with my fans.
Let's finish with a fun question. Have you ever had a crazy fan?
Sometimes, I mean, sometimes there's a crazy fan, but still grateful for them.
Thanks for sharing your experience, and good luck.
And we're back here at the panel's desk. Thank you, Kyrie, for this awesome interview given by our production team. Thank you very much, production, for this wonderful video. That was Team Onyx, and was Kyrie, the jungler player for Team Onyx. As he was mentioning, they are return champions for this tournament at the Game of the Future, and that would be exciting and testful match, especially for the team of Yang Feng Yao Gai. There's a big hope and expectancies from the Onyx, and as Aurora the Pagu yesterday was mentioning that he would like to meet them at the finals, and we'll definitely see how the Onyx is going to play and how they're going to perform, because by the look of the Yang Feng Yao Gai, they look very strategical, they were very confident, and they're very conservative on their draft, conservative in a positive manner, because they knew what they want to do and they knew how they would like to accomplish a game of victory of here at the beautiful Jekpijak Arena here. And as I mentioned before, my name is still Borka, joined by Haiti here. And it would be interesting to take a look if it be 2-0 from the team of Onyx. I would be very surprised, because I mean DFYJ clearly also not a team who would like to be eliminated in their journey.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are talking about the returning champions, as Steelworkers said. I mean, they were the champions last year, and they are back here again to get on it. So we still don't know if they're going to move ahead to the next one or they're going to be having to go back. But it's a very strong team that we are talking about. And of course, Kyrie, a fan favorite. Like, we got a huge fan base for Kyrie as well. And when it comes to Onyx, I mean, I believe they mainly relies on their EXP lane to create space on the split push. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's MLBB. I mean, we cannot really predict anything, but this is going to be one good match to watch because we are watching the last year's champions. I mean, they came out as the best team last year, so we are hoping they're going to put out the best performance here tonight because they need to move ahead to get to the finals, right?
Yeah, I mean, or maybe it will be another upset, right? We had the champions yesterday, the Team Spirit, who were winning the recent championship, and they have failed to Food Esports, and now it will be interesting test for Onyx because all eyes right now on them. And let's take a look how they're gonna do, and it will be not now, but it will be quite shortly.
Yeah,
and yeah, you have wanted to say something?
No, I was gonna say, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how the drafting also looks out because they're gonna have to tie down, lock down the dives of DFYZ to see how that goes. And I believe they might go for the heavy stun heroes, Minotaur. I'm not sure. I mean, we are yet to see. I mean, the only way to find out is just wait to see what they are gonna pick, and of course our casters will be talking about that too, so I'm really excited to watch how that unfolds.
I'm just curious if anybody of them are gonna be not banning Atlas, and if their Atlas is going to, because the previous years Atlas have been banned twice, and it would be interesting to take a look at Atlas if any of those teams are gonna ban the hero, or we'll be seeing Melissa and Harley, right?
Yeah.
The combination of two heroes, they have absolutely incredible win rate, and there is also Barretts there, and it'd be interesting to take a look if because you know, meta is one thing, but there is also another meta during the at the game like, of the future itself. Like each tournament have their own unique metas.
True.
And people just adapt and they do strategize differently, and might be different in terms of strategy, combination of two different heroes with the origin meta and the meta from the tournament. And as we can see here, the Onyx players, on interview we were saying the team from southeastern region, and it would be interesting to take a look if they can manage to again get into the grand finals. But before, they need to meet at the quarterfinals the team of Yang Feng Yao Gai. I mean, that team is crazily really good, and we'll see how they're gonna be who is gonna come on top. Or might be it would be another upset, you know? It might be another upset, clearly. I mean, right now it's Yang Feng Yao Gai on your screens, because yesterday Team Spirit, I'm sure, upset most of the fans here at the beautiful Czech Arena, because nobody expected that performance, because they just came from the different tournament and they've flown here to Astana, and in the first game of the match they have been eliminated.
Yeah.
So is there the still champions curse? We'll definitely get to know that quite soon.
Yeah, true. I mean, two big teams, two really strong teams, and they have proven their place in any tournament. And as we said, Kyrie say, I mean, they are prepared for the next tournament. I mean, as soon as this finish, in the next 4 days, they're moving to the next tournament, which means they have their place everywhere in MLBB. I mean, DFYG, when it comes to DFYG, I mean, they are more of a high-risk, high-reward cold cards, wild cards, I would say, in the group. And we got Onyx, of course, choking. I mean, they really love their choke points, the narrow spaces, and then to steal the buffs from the opponent. But we are yet to see how this actually unfolds, because we are just about to start. We're going to be starting in a few minutes. You can see the lights going up right behind us. The excitement is high because we got the champions, the returning champions in the house, to see how all this happens. Are you excited?
Yeah, definitely excited. It'd be interesting to take a look at Onyx's performance right now, because we're here in beautiful Czech Arena in Kazakhstan. I mean, yes, they were a champion before. It was a year ago. And what about now? Because this is definitely not their home crowd. It might be a little bit nervousness, but I mean, the team is well experienced. Also, it would be a good like experience-based and battleground for the team of Yangfeng Yaogai if they can make this happen, and maybe they can upset every fan here out there. We'll definitely get to know that quite soon.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have to make sure the draft phase goes as planned, just to make sure they have all their goals met, and also it's going to be a challenge to see what they have to bring and they have to ban. And both the teams are really known for this, their play styles, their own kind of play styles, and we are yet to see how that unfolds. We just heard Kyrie talk about his views on the tournaments and also his views on the play styles and stuff, and the team as well. But yeah, I mean, ONIC versus DFYG. We're going to be starting in a few minutes. Everybody's so excited.
What do you think? How long is going to last the matches? Because the matches were, this games, I mean, the previous game, they were relatively quick.
Yes.
By the minute of 15, the both teams have finished.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday we witnessed the most longest game that there is in actual game of at the Game of the Future in the playoff stage. It was I believe 23 to 25 minutes between Leaders and Pro Esports. Do you expect this longer game type, and might be very close game between both of the teams with their bases being empty almost and fighting until the end?
I would love to see a longer game, to be honest, and because since both the teams are really strong, and when it comes to ONIC, I mean, their first priority is possibly to make sure they ban the high, let's say the high mobility junglers from DFYG, to make sure they don't come up ahead and steal the buffs of ONIC. But yeah, we got something cool coming up next year.
Yeah, we're definitely cool coming up next year, but would like to show you guys a quick video of our history about the Games of the Future, and let's take a look.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. For the next several days, Astana will host one of the most exciting sporting events of the year. But this isn't a regular sports tournament. The Games of the Future bring together the best of both worlds, traditional sports and cyber sports, in a unique format called Phygital, which combines physical and digital competition. In Phygital sports, athletes have to perform both on the screen and on the field. They need fast reactions, smart decision-making, teamwork, and physical fitness. Winning here takes much more than mastering just one side of the game. This year, the tournament welcomes more than 800 athletes from more than 50 countries, competing across 8 different disciplines. Players, coaches, fans, and technology brands have all come together in Astana to be part of this global event. The competition is fierce, with a prize pool of over $4 million. But the Games of the Future are about more than just winning. They show how sport is changing and how technology is creating new ways to compete. The event has already attracted a huge global audience. The tournaments are watched by hundreds of millions of people, most of them between the ages of 18 and 34, a younger generation who are invested in both sports and digital competitions. It's clear that phygital sports are becoming one of the fastest growing trends in the world of competition. Over the next few days, we'll take you behind the scenes, meet the athletes, hear their stories, and find out what it takes to succeed in this one-of-a-kind tournament. From quick interviews and fun challenges to exciting matches, we'll show you everything happening at the Games of the Future. So stay with us as we explore the future of sport, right here in Astana. Let's get started.
Oh, thank you for the video here. That was a good history about actually the Game of the Future here. Also, like to mention about we haven't talked about the groups, right?
Yeah.
The groups ONIC, they haven't lost a single game.
Wow. I mean, absolute champions. I would say.
They haven't lost a single game. That was 2-0 from their group of D, and that was a great performance by them. Whereas DFYJ, they have been constantly losing one game, but they were winning, and they lost to Falcons, I believe, at the Group A, and they made it through on a second on their Group A.
Right.
So now they're actually facing here I mean, DFYJ now also hyped up after winning their series against Team Vamos yesterday. We got to see that games. I mean, it would be exciting to take a look because on the other hand, you see there's always 3 games for the team of DFYJ, right? And then now on Onyx, they haven't lost a single game so far here at the Game of the Future. There might be an upset, you never know. There's logically, if you want to say they're going to be an easy 2-0 for Onyx, but there's not a chance because there's always might be an upset moments, just like we have had with the Team Spirit, right? And moving forward, it would be interesting to take a look how they're going to do, right? Because everybody's looking at them right now, and Onyx, it's going to be a really interesting to take a look, but it's going to be a rough challenge match for the young Feng Yao guy.
I mean, both different, different kinds of play styles that we're talking about. Because as you said, like a DFYZ likes to take the 50-50 smite fights with the turtles. I mean, even if you're not sure you're gonna get it completely with the turtles, they're just still gonna go for it and then figure out if they're gonna get that last hit and get the turtles down. But when it comes to Onyx, they really like their guaranteed setups. Like they love to get the vision and get the setup done and then take down the objective. So I mean, we still have to see how all this gonna turn out in terms of the drafting, and if they are gonna get their strong heroes which they are used to, or are we gonna met up with some surprises as well. I mean, when it comes to Onyx, I mean, we're gonna have to look for heroes like Minotaur or Tigreal even to see if they're gonna pick them, because they're gonna have to ban the high mobility heroes for DFYZ. I mean, they cannot risk DFYZ coming to them and then stealing the buff. So we still don't know. We have no idea.
Of course, it is partially. It's just one of the things. Nobody would like to give the turtle for free, and I'm pretty sure Onyx is the type of the team that they are taking those objectives, such as turtles, such as the towers, such as the experience and everything. They take it very seriously. So same could be said about the team DFYJ. I mean, they played the game against Team Vamos also exceptionally well, and we're hearing now teams are getting almost already